What's up, everybody? It is your doctor once again coming at you from the X lair, everybody's favorite lair, full of all sorts of treatments to help you get through your X-Men statue withdrawal syndrome, the worst scourge to ever plague your family and others around the world for generations without a cure. All we can do is treat you in the best way possible. Today, I've got a super treatment for you, the kind of treatment that some might say is from the future. It's so effective. It's not a cure, but it is a treatment, and it's totally advanced. Advanced in the sense that, well, it's you know further along in the time stream than we are, and completely awesome in a very futuristic way. I don't know what I'm saying anymore because I'm so excited about this statue. Look at this thing. It's incredible. It's fantastically incredible. So this is a custom 1/4 scale Bishop. Oh, don't kill me, Bishop. I'm not a young girl, Bishop. Don't kill me. This is the 1/4 scale custom Bishop statue that I got involved in a group commission for about I think almost a year ago now. I think it was like last July or August or something along those lines. So there's and the, I have to say this is the best quality like custom statue I've ever gotten in my life. Like generally I get involved in these group commissions, or as my experience has been in the past, I've gotten involved in these group commissions and I'll get the statue and I've been waiting for it forever, and I kind of gloss over the quality issues because I'm like just super excited to finally get a piece that I've been waiting for like a year or somewhere along those lines. But generally there's been problems. There's been serious problems with like the products that I've gotten, to the point where like I just stopped getting them. I just stopped getting these statues. Then maybe 2 years after the last statue that I got, I saw this guy being sneaked as a potential statue that was gonna be made as a group commission. So like there's like a concept presented in like these online forums where a lot of like old school collectors get together and decide if they want to get involved or not and get one of these things made. Um, I saw this sneaked and I liked it. I thought it was really great. I love Bishop. Bishop's one of my favorite X-Men. There aren't enough statues of Bishop. I have only one statue of Bishop, the custom statue. Back here, you can see him. Hello, little custom Bishop, which not many people are a fan of, but I am. It's a Joe Mad based design of Bishop. Really cool. Love it. It's the only Bishop I've got. Bowen Designs has a Bishop coming. It's a 1/6 scale. It's going to be based basically on his first appearance design, which is the mullet design. This is the first appearance of Bishop here, Uncanny X-Men number 282. Um, and it's coming soon, and it's actually got a translucent like energy effect on his hand as well. It's on a sentinel head. It's very impressive. I'm very much excited about that. But I saw this one sneaked, and actually when I saw it sneaked, I knew nothing about the base at all. But I saw like they had kind of started doing some of the detail on this statue, like on the body and the costume, and I was just like immediately impressed. And the thing that got me to get involved was the fact that the producer of this statue was somebody that I had never really dealt with before. The other statue producers that I've dealt with, I've decided not to deal with again because of the quality issues. And so I've stayed away from them. This producer generally tends to do like statues that are like more DC based, and he's done some really incredible pieces. Like I know there's like a Flash he did that's amazing, and I think there's I don't know. I'm sure there's like a oh yeah there's a Green Lantern that's freaking amazing, and then I think he did a Sinestro too. I don't know. He's done amazing work. He's done some X-Men stuff, but like so he did like an Archangel that's just fantastic. But it was just too big for me to get. There were a few X-Men statues, and there were a few reasons why I didn't get them. And so I've always not because I'm averse to getting statues from him, but because I just never had a statue that I really wanted to get from him. So I've always kind of stayed away from this statue producer, this custom statue producer from overseas. Um, until now, until I saw this statue sneaked, and I was like, oh my god, it's Bishop, and he looks awesome. So immediately I was enthralled, and I was like, I'm getting involved. So I got involved in the group commission. They start finishing the sculpt of the body. It's like you see, like there's so much great detail to it. Like just on the costume, you got these great boots. I've taken a lot of photos of this, and there's a blog post that you can find on my blog. If you're just clicking on this video now, after recently, after it having been uh, produced, which is right now at the very end of May. You could find the blog post on my blog by clicking on the description link. And at the end of May, you'll find a post for this statue. And there's several photos that I took of it and posted of close-ups of all the amazing details on the statue. So if you're looking to get like a really close look at this statue, you can click on you can go on my blog and check out a lot of the close-ups. I don't like to do a lot of camera work because I'm a stickler for good shooting, and I'd rather just keep one stationary shot. But the HD that I'm shooting is like 1080p. It should give you a nice idea of just like the quality of this statue and all the amazing detail that it carries. So going back to what I was talking about, the costume is like so detailed, like just the boots. Just the boots are just so amazing. I like wanted to take like 30 pictures of the boots because they put in so much work into just crafting them to look just awesome, just amazing. Um, and then you've got the pants, and you've got like the really cool line, yellow line that goes down his chest from the X on his chest down. Um, it's done really nicely, and there's just like this like texture to like the entire suit of like some fabric that they took the time to make sure it had, which is freaking great. It just adds so much to the statue. It kind of gives it that realism that you're looking for in a really cool statue of one of your favorite characters. So great detail on the fabric of the costume. Oh my god, look at the soles of the shoe. It's just like so detailed. Like it's beautiful. The costume is just fantastic. And then there's like this harness with like these pouches all along it, which I mean they really took a lot of time to make sure that everything was detailed enough to the point where you're just like blown away by it. I don't know if you can tell that I'm like blown away by the detail of the statue, but I happen to be a little bit blown away by it. Um, so so the costume is amazing. The musculature is fantastic. It's like super ripped and like super detailed. Like you can see veins all along the arms. Um, all like the body is well proportioned and like super jacked up, and even with all the detail in the muscle, there's still like the fabric detail, um, which is just phenomenal work. Just okay, so the costume amazing, the body amazing, and I think that's as far as they went as far as like sort of the first face. Oh no, wait, they did the face too. So they did this really incredible face, which I love. I think it's based on like an I forget. I think his name is Oliver Olivetti. I think he might be Argentine actually. I'm actually half Argentine myself, so thumbs up to the Argentine artist who does all these really great um, pieces of art that I think Sideshow has based a lot of their pieces on. Like they did a Punisher, a comic yet I think. He was like super jacked up and looks all tough and angry. And that was based on his artwork, and I'm pretty sure this is based on that artwork too. So they base the face on this Oliver Olivetti, I think his name is, um, on his artwork, which is really great, and it's got this great realism to it. And the thing about the statue is like they did two versions of the head. They did this bald version, which I prefer. I like the bald version of Bishop better. I think it's just a lot cooler and sleeker, and it's cool. I like it. It's my own personal preference. Of course, the other one they did is the classic Bishop mullet head, in his first appearance costume. I mean, you can see this is the costume in this cover is basically the costume you're looking at here, but they decided to like give you the option of an alternate head to display, you know, just in case you're looking for like kind of like that modern edge to it, which is what I'm looking for. I don't love the mullet, and I have a mulleted bishop coming, so you know, and I have like another, and I have bishop with a crew cut, so I'm thinking, all right, mullet, bishop, crew cut, bishop bald. I want to cover the spectrum of the various looks of bishop. Obviously, the other one would be the dreadlocks, but you know, I'm sure that someone will make something along those in the future with the dreadlocks, and I'll probably get it. But with this one, I wanted to get the ball one, but there, like I said, there is the mulleted head version of that actually you could get with this statue, and there's like a scarf too that goes down along his costume as well, that comes with that head. So they, you know, they gave you this option, but they don't give you both heads. They ask you which one you want, and I think if you want both heads, you could pay for it. But I didn't want both heads. So the head is actually removable, and there it is. I'm Bishop. I'm from the future, and I'm pissed off. Either Gambit is gonna kill Xavier, or Hope is gonna ruin humanity. Somebody's gonna do something, and I'm gonna do something about it. You hear me? You hear me? You hear? All right, there's the classic M right there. You got the classic M tattoo over his eye, which means mutant, which is like a way that future mutants are branded in a world in which they're hunted down and put into like slave pens. Um, anyway, so this is the head. It's like super detailed, super awesome, and like they did a really nice professional job with the connector, um, like the spike that connects it to the body, and it's got a freaking magnet in it, so it's not going to easily fall out. And as soon as you get it close to it, it just kind of pulls it in. So it's like a super professionally well done piece. Like they didn't screw around. Like you're gonna have a switch out head fine. You're gonna put magnets in the head so that the heads don't fall off easily. And you know the statue is just, it's got like a constitution that you want from a big ass expensive statue. Um, all right, so everything I've shown you so far is what I saw at the point very close to where I decided to get involved in the commission. So I didn't know anything about the base, which is like amazing. I'm going to be talking about it in a bit. Um, but so beyond that, so they, you know, they did a few extra things. They did a really cool, they did a translucent sort of energy effect on his hand, which is fantastic. I took a couple of close-ups of it. You can see it. Um, and that just represents the fact that, you know, Bishop's mutant power is to absorb kinetic energy and rechannel it, and this just sort of shows him kind of building it up. Um, and let me think. I think I'm trying to figure out if no. So I think this arm came connected, the arm with the translucent hand, but the other arm that's holding the gun, which is the other part that they eventually finished off, comes separate as well. So here you have the second arm. You can see it's got all the crazy veins on it. It's got that V that they sculpted in, and it's got this really cool gun. Oh boy. Oh, you're about to be impressed some more. That's it. That's all you're about to be. And it connects to the body via the spike here, and it holds it in nicely, and it's great. It's like a really detailed piece. They did a really great job of packaging this statue. Other statues that I've gotten from the Philippines, they kind of do a bad job, like trying to do like a styrofoam, like that's cut out for the statue, and it just winds up not being that great. And I've never really been happy with the way these statues have been shipped to me. But this one was shipped in several parts. It was shipped with the head, the arm, the body. I'm trying to figure out now. Okay, so the arm came with the body, and then the base has a few other pieces take it that needed to be attached, like the arm, piece of the leg, and then a piece of the other arm in the back needed to be attached. And each one was wrapped up in like a ton of plastic wrap and like a protective sort of sheath before that. So they did a really great job of being very careful with making sure that the statue was delivered like intact without any damage. Even though, I mean, obviously there's like battle damage to the base, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But like, you know, you don't want some extra you know, unintended battle damage because you don't want to have a battle with the post office. Like that's one battle that you'll lose. I think we all know that. All right,
So
so Bishop himself, amazing, right? You can see he's just fantastic, amazing, stupendous, too good to be true, and fortunately, still true. Like, still actually in front of me. I'm not dreaming right now. Like, he's here and he's big and he's amazing. Um, so I got involved in this commission. I was like, yes, I'm getting Bishop in 1/4 scale. I'm freaking happy about this. Bring it. All of a sudden, a few weeks later, we get this surprise from the producers of what the base is going to be. So the base was a mystery. Like, what is the base going to be? Nobody knew. Um, all of a sudden, we knew, and we found out that it was going to be Nimrod. Yes, Nimrod, the sentient sentinel from the future that's basically indestructible. Um, Nobody has made a Nimrod yet, and so the minute I found out about it, I was like, yes, the Nimrod quota, the Nimrod quotient is going to be filled finally. Like, I've got like all these villains here, and like I want to get all the villains. I want people to make all the villains, and Nimrod was one that I was missing. I don't have any Nimrod, even as just like a destroyed Nimrod. I don't have one. So as soon as I found out about this, I was like, sweet, I'm getting Nimrod in my collection, yeah, getting Nimrod in my collection, woo. Yeah, so I got one finally. Um, so whoa, Bishop is a killer. Watch out. Um, so so they sneaked in, and I was like, yes, bitch. I mean, Nimrod Base, fantastic. Took them a while to finally get things going because they take their time with stuff. Obviously, they have multiple projects going on. They don't want to rush things to the point where things are done in a bad way. So it took a while to finally get like the final full reveal of this amazing base. And when it was finally revealed, I was just like floored. I was like, this is incredible. So this is the modern Nimrod. So this is like the Nimrod you would see in I think Second Coming. Yes. So there was like a trilogy of stories involving Hope, this like mutant miracle baby that kind of comes from nowhere at a time where mutant babies aren't being born after Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, says no more mutants and decimates the mutant population down to less than 200 mutants. No mutants were born for a very long time. All of a sudden, a mutant's born. Her name is Hope. Um, as a baby, all sorts of characters are trying to kill her because for some reason, oh yeah, they're trying to eradicate the mutant race essentially now that there's like less than 200 mutants. So they're trying to kill this new mutant that's like a indicator of like resurgence of mutants in the world. Cable takes Hope into the future when he brings her back as like a teenager. Like they're gone for like 15, 20 years or something, 15 years, um, roughly. Uh, when they bring her back, it's like it's the third part of the trilogy. So there was like the original story where she's born and then she's taken to the future. That was Manifest Destiny. Then there was another story involving her in the future and like X Force with Wolverine leading it goes into the future to help her. Um, and I think that was Messiah War. Okay, so wait, the first one was called the first one wasn't Manifest Destiny. It was Messiah Complex. Then there was Messiah War, and then finally there was Second Coming. And in Second Coming, she comes back into the present with Cable. Everybody's trying to kill her again. And there's like these Nimrods coming after the X-Men trying to kill her. There's a bunch of them. And this is basically the design for that Nimrod. Um, so Nimrod's design has evolved over time. And that's the base you're seeing. And that's what that whole story was about, to tell you exactly why this Nimrod may not be the Nimrod you personally know from the first appearance or maybe from the cartoon in the 90s that had kind of the classic version of Nimrod. So this is like a cool, in my book, it's kind of like a more updated, I'm going to say a cooler version of Nimrod. I know some people might shoot me for saying that, but fortunately, they will never find me. You'll never find me. All right, so okay, so they did an amazing job with this Nimrod. Obviously, he's been torn apart by Bishop. Um, there's not much left of the guy. You have one of his feet um, going into the head. So Bishop goes into the head, and he goes into the sort of the middle of the body. So I'm gonna try to. No, I'm not gonna try to do it. All right, I'm gonna put Bishop back in now. Slides right back in, like it was produced by like a professional company with a license. It's incredible. Um, okay, so here's the Nimrod head. It's upside down, and you got all these wires coming out here. You've got bullet holes in the body. Um, this arm comes separately, and look at how freaking detailed and awesome that is. I mean, Jesus H. Christ, look at this thing. It's incredible. They did a lot of work, not just on the sculpting. Oh, look at the detail on the hand, on like the fingers, the joints in the fingers. Just amazing. Just amazing. They did a really great job of not just sculpting it really nicely and doing a nice paint job, but also kind of giving it that battle, uh, that worn out battle effect, that battle damage effect. So there's like scrapes all over it, and so it's not like a perfectly, painted thing. It looks like it's been through hell, and it has because it met Bishop, and Bishop took it out. Go Bishop. Um, the other side, we've got this other arm. Also comes separately, very similar to the other arm, just a little more simple. Obviously, you don't need much detail in the back. Actually, I'm going to display this guy be in front of a mirror, so I'm going to see the back. Um, but I mean, obviously, you don't need the back one to have the hand, and it's good to have kind of like, just more battle damage in different parts of the statue. All right, and then the other part is this leg portion. It's not much of a leg, but you got this really cool sort of socket there for the rest of the leg. It's all like there's a lot of thought put into like all the pieces on the statue, which is really great. And then the part of Nimrod, like his basically like his abdomen area where his leg enters the base. You've got like all these wires coming out. It's fantastic. It looks really, really nice. And of course, you got the classic Nimrod symbol on his chest as well, which is really nice. And then below that, you've got like this rocky sort of area base, which is awesome as well. Initially, they were going to make it brown, but the producer told me that it kind of looked a little turdy, so he decided to make it like this dark grayish, which is great because it looks really nice. Um, uh, so I mean that basically covers the statue. It's really amazing from top to bottom. Uh, I can't. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I have this statue, and it came out great, and I got my money's worth. That's really important. It's like you spend all this money and like you wait forever, and it just amplifies the disappointment when something like that just doesn't come out the way you want it to. Um, or there's something wrong with it. But with this statue, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. So I'm just really satisfied with it. Uh, it's really heavy. I'm not gonna pick it up right now because I've got it positioned just right for the shot that I'm showing you guys. But it's a really heavy statue as well. So it's like super solid. It's not like these like crappy hollow things that just feel cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like expensive because it is expensive, and it feels like quality, and it won't just like fall over or just fall off some display case or something, or it's just like it's fantastic. I'm really happy with it. So just a couple of things on Bishop. Bishop actually right now in Uncanny. I just read Uncanny X Force number 5. Uncanny X Force Volume 2 number 5, and Bishop is finally being redeemed after, like I mentioned, I made a joke earlier about I'm not a little girl, don't kill me. He tried to kill Hope, who was a little girl, and then when Cable went into the future, he actually went after Cable. So he chased Cable and Hope like for a very long time through various parts of the future, and it was pretty crappy. I didn't like that happened to Bishop because Bishop is not a villain, but they kind of made him into a villain. And the reason why he was doing it was because Hope, he knew that Hope was going to somehow lead to like Armageddon or like, the apocalypse or whatever. And so he felt that he needed to save humanity by killing her. I mean, understandable, but still, like, they kind of left it at that and they didn't really redeem him. But now finally, he's been reintroduced into the present, and he's finally being redeemed, and I'm really happy about that. He's actually going to appear in X-Men: Days of Future Past coming next summer. Bryan Singer's new X-Men movie. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to take place in the past, in the future. There's going to be Sentinels. There's going to be characters from X-Men First Class and characters from the original X-Men trilogy all thrown in together. And Bishop's going to be in it, and Oliver Trask and Blink is going to be in it. It's going to be a fantastic. Warpath's going to be in it. So Mr. Bishop here is going to become very relevant as far as like pop cultural mainstream awareness of Bishop goes. So yay to that. This statue is probably going to become one of the gems of my collection. I'm really happy that I took the leap to get it and that it's finally here and that the promise of its quality and its amazing design and everything, you know, was satisfied. It was the producer followed through with the promises, and I couldn't be happier. This is such a great statue. Really, really great statue. All right, folks. Well, that concludes this video of me being extremely giddy about an extremely large statue of Bishop on a Sentinel, no, on a Nimrod base. Thank you so much for checking it out. Thanks for checking out my blog. My blog is X-Men Statues of Future Past.blogspot.com. My YouTube channel is Dr. Remy LeBeau's X-Lair. And as always, I think it would behoove you to put an X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. I'll catch y'all soon. Take care and bye-bye.